Well, hello, Sinead Sanderson. How are you?
I'm very well, Jenny.
I am so delighted to have you on my Wedding Tip podcast. Everybody, Sinead is a really good friend of mine. I have to tell them all that first because they'll probably pick up on that from the giggles.
Yeah.
But will you tell all the listeners, Sinead, how did you get into the underwear industry?
Well, I always wanted to be in retail. Like I went to do fashion design. I wanted to have my own store for years. And it wasn't until I got married that I realised what my calling was. Like I always struggled to get a good bra in Ireland. There just wasn't the options for me. There was nothing nice either. And then they didn't have my size half the time in anything I'd like to wear.
Yes.
So I went to the States. I think it was like a J1 and then a J2. And I ended up working in a department store over there.
Yeah.
And a big thing I thought was ingenious was every time they sold a dress in America, they sent the lady with the dress down to the lingerie department to get the underwear to complement the dress.
Wow.
So when I was getting married myself, they kept putting pressure on me to get a strapless bra. And I went everywhere. They told me go to Marks and Spencer's. But I was a 30FF. There was nowhere I could find. They just fell off me.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got very stressed. And I remember thinking to myself, I would just love a service that I went to that they helped me.
Yeah.
And they could get me a bra in that size. And they could look at my dress and say, this is what you need to wear to look your best. And it was like a light bulb.
Wow.
So literally 6 months after I got married, I opened the shop.
That is
It was that quick.
unbelievable. And now you're the number one specialist in Ireland for fitting bras, for foundation underwear. All the brides go to you. I mean, you're just unbelievable. You and
Yes.
everybody in your shop.
Well, it was amazing how anything that helps people spreads like fire. You know, it was unbelievable. Every store in the country that sold a guna to a woman or an outfit for a wedding said to them if they thought they needed any help, go to Peaches and Cream.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we just got the whole country was coming into the store. Now, you know, we're 16 years in business, so it wasn't like an overnight success. We started out really for the brides because that was my issue.
Yes.
And then we quickly realised that every woman in Ireland needs a bra fitting. And the stuff we were selling wasn't what you think, lace and white. It was foundation wear. It was really good bras that made you look your absolute best. And over time, we just got this knack for looking at a lady's figure or their silhouette in the dress and giving them the right shapes to balance out their figure or to really like let them sing in that outfit. So it just caught on. And you know how women talk. Like
I do.
When, you know, your Aunt Mary arrives at the wedding with a great looking figure, everyone's going to go, what were you doing?
Yeah.
And they tell you, I went to Peaches and Cream.
Amazing.
So brilliant.
And I've heard you saying before about foundations. Talk to them about you don't build a house without good foundations.
That's exactly it. You know, it's like a hanger for any outfit.
Yeah.
You know, the money people are spending on their outfits for any event is really a lot of money. And if they put that over crap underwear, it's an absolute crime.
Well, you know, obviously as a wedding photographer, I see all sorts of, you know, different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
And the one bugbearer for me is when I can see the panty line. I'm like, what are you doing with that gorgeous, beautiful dress on you? Generally bridesmaids. And they've got a tight enough dress on them and I can see their pants.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, why
and
do you not?
See, they're really slim girls that don't need shape. Like shapewear in time gone past was known as a, you know, almost like a chastity belt, Jenny. It was just, I can't cope. I can't breathe. I'm not wearing it. I want to be comfortable. Couldn't be more different now.
Yeah.
It's, what do they call it? New and slim proved. It's like the fabric is light as a feather. It's like putting on a pair of tights.
Yeah.
But what it does is it avoids you wearing a pair of pants and everything is smooth. And I always say, it doesn't matter what size you are.
Yes.
Once you're smooth, you
And
look
Sinead,
great.
like there's not a pick on you.
Oh, well, I'm stressed, Jenny, all the time. It's COVID stress.
And you wear Spanx all the time.
I try to have them on me now.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't wear I wear opaque tights in the winter.
Yeah.
And Spanx do a high waist tight.
Yes.
Which is ingenious.
You
because
gave me a pair. I live in them.
they're brilliant.
Yeah.
Normally tights cut you off in the middle.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're wearing a fitted dress. You can see the big lump of whatever
The
above
line.
the tights.
Yeah.
None of that.
No, you
So-
don't have a big lump.
But they will create a lump. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Panty lines, those girls are all slim and most girls are beautiful until they put the knickers on and then there's lines everywhere. That's what you don't want showing, especially in an event like a wedding or you feel so much more confident when you put good underwear on. It's addictive.
Oh God, I absolutely. I need to get into you. Sure, I'm not even wearing the right bra. Oh, you're always saying that to me. That's the wrong size bra. Come here. What is the best seamless brief out there? So we're talking about, like, I would often see brides, and they're not wearing a bra. They're just wearing a brief. Is there a best one, or is there
Okay, so this is really important. Like, most brides come into us that maybe hadn't been told about the store, and eventually they're desperate and they Google or whatever, and they come in and they've bought 16 pairs of nude knickers.
Stop.
And all of them said on the packaging, seamless. Now, it's seamless in your hand, but if you don't go for a pair of Spanx shorts, right, you need to go above the belly button and then mid-thigh for them to be actually seamless.
Right.
Because if they cut you anywhere else, they could cause what we call that little indentation. It's a dint, but that dint can show in the dress.
Absolutely.
So seamless thongs are very difficult to become seamless if the dress is unforgiving.
Yeah.
All these things are fine on a Saturday night in a normal dress. But for an event, if you have a slinky number that's fitted, a seamless thong won't work.
No.
A seamless brief won't work. You need to cover your belly button. We're not allowed them anymore since Instagram, because we filter everything out now. So yeah, above the belly button and down to the thigh is what I would say is an actual seamless brief.
Right.
Spanx do it best. I know I'm a Spanx freak.
You are.
But a lot of the other kind of imitations have a hem on the waist, or they have a hem on the thigh, and you can see those lines. Or they're too thick in the fabric, or they roll up your leg.
Roll up. I see that a lot.
There's all sorts of issues with those options. So I really think if you want to be assured of that seamless look, your only answer is Spanx, I'm afraid.
And go to Sinead to get them. So when somebody is, thinking about a guna, a dress, should they go into you first, or should they get the dress and then go into you? Or what way do they do it?
So it's so funny, because anyone that has issues with their boobs, like, they're always having to get a bra fitting, they know it, they're living it. They come in before they get the dress.
Okay.
They know.
Yeah.
They know, okay, I'm not going to be comfortable on my wedding day until I know my underwears, I can get the underwear.
Yeah.
So a lot of brides would come in before they go for the search, and they get a good bra at least.
Right.
So they want the bra that makes them look as good as they can, so they can see themselves in the dress.
Yes.
And then the other 80% come in when the dressmaker or designer says to them, come in next time with your bra and your shoes.
Right.
That's when the hunt begins.
Okay.
So they come into us, and we would always say, not very many of them have the dress. The odd one has the dress, but very few have the dress. So a picture of the dress on a model on a website,
yes,
or on you in the showroom, they all suffice.
Okay.
We need to see the dress. This
Of course.
is the thing. Most places don't even ask, what are you wearing? They just give them a bra.
Right.
You have to see the fabric, the cut.
Yes.
What we're watching out for, illusion tops where you could see a bra strap or low back.
Yes. I was just going to ask you, what happens if your dress is low back and it goes right down to to your spine, the base of your spine? What do you do then?
That was really a difficult area for us until we got low back bodysuits.
Right.
So they're like a pair of swimming togs with legs on them.
Okay.
And there's literally, the back goes into that V, because that's becoming more and more common, that back, that deep back. Where we run into trouble is sometimes they have like see-through panels on the waist as well.
Yes.
And then you are in trouble.
Okay.
So that's when, you're in the position where you do have to wear a low-lie thong, and you just have to go with it. Often those dresses might have a bit of lace to cover in some of the lines. But really, my biggest advice for anyone that's going to any event is to consider, I know you're going to laugh, and people laugh thinking this is my life, but it really is important. When you're in that dress, you need to say to yourself, what underwear do I need to wear this dress?
Yes.
Because what happens is nobody does that. They love it. They fall in love, and they're wearing a bra at the time. And they don't think about, you can see the back of my bra. They just see themselves in the dress, and they are in love. And then 6 weeks before the wedding, the realisation hits. They have to wear an adhesive bra or a stitching cup.
Yes.
Or no knickers, Jenny.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And then they panic, and the stress starts. And that's all they can remember is that stress before their wedding. And it needs to be completely avoided.
Absolutely.
So unless you're completely comfortable not wearing a bra, or your dress designer says, I can stitch in a bra for you into that dress, or the dress is structured enough that it has an inbuilt corset, rock on, right? But if you're not that type of person, do try to take in the end end result into account before you buy the dress.
And tell me, Sinead, so I often see these kind of sticky cups.
Yeah, adhesives, we call them.
Talk to me about them. Adhesives, right?
They're the adhesives.
Oh, right, okay. Do you recommend them, Sinead?
Yeah, they're good. They're really good now. I like the ones you can reuse. Bybra is the brand of choice for us, but there's so many Perkies, all these different brands. Number one advice there is trial them before, give them a trial.
And when you're putting them on, Sinead, I always say to my brides, make sure you don't have any body lotion on, because if you have any body lotion on, it's not going to stick properly. Sure, it's not.
Absolutely. And brides, not even brides, but people going to events, they do a little prep that week. We all have a wee exfoliation and we might put the tan on, and all of them are oil-based.
Yeah.
So they can create a little bit more slip and slide, and they won't stick for as long.
Okay.
So I would say, think about that, avoid that area, and really do make sure that the skin is a little bit drier, would you believe? It actually fixes better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are the essentials then? What do they need, Sinead? Like, so obviously they need their shoes, they need their underwear, you need to see the dress before you give them the underwear.
Yeah. So really the essentials for the build up to the day, the underwear is very important. We're seeing more and more brides don't need bras.
Right.
So
because probably the cup has been sewn in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The cup has been sewn in, but that's where the adhesives come in.
Yes.
Because some of them fall below the cup.
Okay.
We're all women. We've different sizes, different shapes. Mm-hmm. So we have a little trick. That's why I love the adhesives, because you can pin yourself a little bit back up.
Yes.
You're not panicking either, because you have that cup in front that's protecting you. You don't feel like that's the shape you've created.
Yeah.
But it makes you feel a little bit more secure walking around, because you don't bounce as much with an adhesive on.
Okay.
And then the knickers are the most important thing.
Right.
Yeah, you need to make sure you get a nice pair, and everything has to be wear tested. That's a big thing for us, wear test.
Okay.
So whether you buy a pair of those adhesives and then you buy a fresh pair for your wedding day, that's kind of the vibe. A lot of them are wearing them on their hen party anyway.
Right.
They'll give them a whirl around the hen.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times...
whirl around the hen.
I'm not joking. Even the mammies are coming in getting the underwear, and they're doing the same. The mammies are as bad.
Well, look, I know that if I'm going to something with Martin and I have to wear like a slinky dress, I am not going to wear knickers and bra. I'm going to put on the stuff that you've given me, because I want to feel that I don't have any lumps and bumps sticking out.
You see, this is it. It started out for me because I was ranting and raving about it all the time.
Yeah.
So when I go out, I can't have a lump and bump at all.
No.
People would actually say, "What's that?"
Yeah.
So
would they?
Yeah. So I really, well, not even people that don't know me. It would be my pals or my sister or my mother who love to have a
little go with you.
They literally don't say anything; just come up and press it. They press the lump. So I would say I would wear test more underwear than anyone. And now I'm tall.
I'd say your husband is delighted with you, Sinead.
The funniest part of it is that's the perception, but most of it's like a body bag, It's like ankles to the neck covered.
So when they do have to buy that all in one, because I've often seen, Sharon Hoey dresses, they'd be quite slinky, and
she's
they would be for slimmer girls, and I often see them wearing this kind of full-on suit.
That's what I'm talking about.
That goes down to the ankles and right up to here. You don't want your husband to see that, like he'd divorce you, would he?
It's like you're a champion, ice skater. I Am Tanya. Is that movie? That's what they wear, only a nude. That's Spanx. That's the Spanx open busted capri suit.
So do you give them something then when they have to take off that suit of armour for later on?
Do you know what? I sort them out, and it's only in the last 5 years that they're asking. That went out. Like, I was shocked at how little brides asked for the night stuff.
Well,
now
apparently,
it's all back.
And I did read a survey somewhere, and this is probably a bit rude, but that wedding couples generally go asleep on their wedding night.
I know. I heard a statistic.
I did.
80-something%. But yeah, that's the problem. I always tell the bride, the dress dictates your underwear.
Yes.
So that dress that you're wearing, you can't have lace and suspender belts and, plunge bras under a silk cup bias dress. And you mentioned Sharon Hoey, like she does Suzanne Neville, one of my favourite designers.
Yes.
They are the most cleanest, beautiful dresses ever.
Yeah.
And Sharon Hoey is very fussy, which I like.
She's very.
She won't let a dress out of her showroom, and
she
it's perfect.
Is very fussy.
And one of the designers that would specifically request a certain type of Spanx for her bride. So it's very well informed.
Yes.
So if you have a dress designer, maker, whoever sold your dress, I always say to the bride, they have definitely probably sold that dress before.
Yeah.
What came into the showroom for the fittings that was successful? They are a good source of information.
Of course.
Because they would have seen something that worked.
Yes.
And they could at least describe it to the bride.
And I'd say they all recommend you then, Sinead, because you're the specialist when it comes to all that foundation underwear.
We're very lucky. Very lucky that we get that. It's a small store, and intentionally so. I like to be there myself as often as I can, and we like to keep it tight and run it well.
And you know what I love about your store? All of the lovely girls that work in there with you, they're all amazing. And they're all as good as you.
We are a family, and every one of them, like, I'm not going to say some are better than me, but I do sit there thinking, Jakers up in heaven. I might rob that myself.
Jakers up in heaven.
They're so good and so kind and very that's the thing about underwear. You quickly realise you have to be very approachable.
Yes.
You have to make people feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually like going to the dentist, getting a bra fitting for most women. It's a chore. It's something that they just want to do and get it out of the way.
So tell me, Sinead, when somebody comes into you and, you know, you've gone through, and I know not everybody that goes into you is a bride looking for foundation underwear, because you do everything in there. But if it is a bride coming in or a mother of the bride, you know, you'll get them to fit on the stuff. You actually go into the dressing room with them.
That's a very important thing to probably say.
Yeah.
Nobody actually comes into our store and browses and picks up stuff and walks into the fitting room. Now that's the odd person does.
Yeah.
99% of the time they walk in and they head straight for us. In actual fact, we say, what can we do for you? And then they tell us what they need.
Yes.
On you go in there and we bring it into them. And then when we have what they needed done, we might say, is there anything else you'd like to have a look at? Would you like to have a browse and pick something out if you want? No problem. But really what they want is for us to do it all for them, which we love because we can then tell them what suits them.
Brilliant.
I measure by eye. Another thing that really...
You are so funny. You do measure by eye.
It's another thing that throws some people because they're like, well, do you not need a tape, you know? And then I put the bra on and they're like, oh, gee, that's fitting me lovely. So you immediately have them, you know. Yeah. It would be different if the first three didn't fit. They'd be like, will you grab a tape there, please?
Yeah.
It's a choice in our store. We have tapes. Half the girls use them, half the girls don't.
Right.
And it was very handy, that little feature through COVID.
Yes.
Because we'd all the screens. We continued to do bra fittings, but we didn't even have to put a tape around them. We could just look and give in. And they, you know.
And tell me then, Sinead, I suppose you would cater for all different shapes and sizes.
Yes.
From what cup to what cup?
Well, in store, we'd have from an A to a J in cup sizes. And then in shapewear was very difficult to get the last year. It was one of those products like strapless bras that with the supply chain, the suppliers nearly shelved. They went straight for the bread and butter, the bras. The byproducts, we call them, were difficult to get. But in shapewear, we go from that size 6, 6 to 8, probably the biggest market for shapewear. You'd be surprised. Up to probably a size 22.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And tell me then, Sinead, if somebody's on a weight loss journey, do you have any recommendations around when to come in? You know,
absolutely. That's a very, very that's a very good question, because a lot of brides get excited, they get engaged, and they're in the week after.
Right.
Or maybe the day they bought the dress. Yeah.
Sorry. Did they even have a fella?
They literally might be getting married in 2025, Jenny. They're looking for the underwear.
Oh,
and it's brilliant. But at the same time, there's going to be a bit of difference between when day than when they go down the aisle. Yeah. So we always say, if you are on a weight loss journey, try to leave your underwear till maybe at least 6 weeks before the wedding.
Right.
And we will ask them, or they could tell us, listen, I hope to lose another half stone. Now, this isn't trying to support weight loss. This is a fact. This is just how us women go on.
Yes.
When we have a big event coming up, we'll all do our best to look our best.
Of course.
And this is how it happens. So, you know, a half a stone can make a difference in a bra.
Of course it can.
You'll change a cup size maybe. Yeah. So we will always take that into account. We'd always say to them, listen, see the bra, you take this, don't take that tag off. Use, you know, just try it on for your fitting, put it back in the bag, And then really 2 weeks before the wedding is our final deadline.
Right.
Because if they come in a week before and that bra's out of stock, we won't get it in before the day. We'd need at least 2 weeks.
Remember that, listeners?
Yeah.
Oh,
so weight loss
important.
is massive.
Yeah. And is there, what's the most common strapless bra on the market?
So the most common strapless bra, so there's loads.
Or the best one even?
Our favourite was the Wonder Bra.
The Wonder Bra.
They've gone out of business.
What?
Kind of.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, they went out of business. Another Brexit casualty. But we have heard that a company bought them over and we still haven't been able to place an order. So that's a bit of a gap.
Right.
Second to that, the red carpet from Wackle. We love it.
Right.
So it's very, very good. Very comfortable bra. So we would select. So how we roll is we'd have our top 4 in every category.
Right.
And we would try to have the ones we love the most. So Wonder Bra was always our number 1. It's like sports bras. We have a number 1 and then we go along. And t-shirt bras, we might have 5 number 1s because there's so many different choices there. It's difficult depending on your size. So yeah, the Wonder Bra was our favourite and it will be back.
Okay.
Wonder Bra is an iconic brand.
Absolutely.
You couldn't get rid of Wonder Bra. You know, there's too much, it's too well known to lose a brand like that.
Yeah.
So red carpet from Wackle is an excellent strapless bra.
And you have that.
And do you know what is the most difficult market for strapless bras? The 40 plus, 40Ds, 42Ds, 40Cs, you know, that kind of size that they find it difficult to get a strapless bras. Allomi is another brand we do. Mm-hmm. It has the most beautiful strapless bra, which we're selling an awful lot of.
Right.
Because the back of the bra is about 6 inches deep.
Oh, wow.
So it really hugs you.
Yes.
It doesn't go in like
you feel secure.
Like what does my Jenny that works for me say? It's not like dental floss across your back. You know where the bra just fucking, you can't see the back.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, every Irish woman when we fit a bra, they don't look at themselves first. They turn around.
Yes.
And they look at the back fat.
Okay.
And I'm always saying to them, right, yeah, there's a little lump above and below. But really, if there was no back fat and that bra was so loose that it didn't indent your back,
it wouldn't give you the shape.
It would just go up between your shoulder blades and the whole front would fall down.
Yeah.
So the back is the anchor of any bra.
Okay.
So if you are really, really hung up on it, do go for a deeper back.
Okay.
It helps.
And tell me, Sinead, have you had any difficult situations when it comes to foundation underwear? Like any situations that you can?
How long have you got, Jenny?
Come on, kid, tell me some of the behind the scenes stuff. You know, don't hold back there.
We have had many. We've had people trying to put pairs of Spanx on with stilettos and the heel goes through it.
Oh, good.
We've had people that walked in the door after getting their nails done and another stiletto. There's some stiletto top nail that they're all getting done now.
Yeah.
They go straight through Spanx. We have had customers losing their underwear on their way home on Dublin bus or on, I think one of them got to the Joe Duffy show. She'd come from Kerry to Peaches and Cream.
Oh,
and she left her dress on the train and her underwear.
Her dress?
Yeah, she left her dress.
The wedding dress?
No, the dress she had. She was the mother of the bride. So we've had loads of underwear.
Did she get it back?
She did. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think actually some listener sourced her the dress from John Lewis in the UK.
Wow.
But no, we've had so many underwear things.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of actual malfunctions and problems,
yes, we
might get one of those and we'd stop doing that style.
Right.
You know, we really are quite
is there a particular dress, Sinead, that you're like, oh, geez, not this dress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that has no sides.
Right.
They're very popular.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So these dresses that are completely see-through at the side.
Yes.
Now we can manage see-through to your hip from there up.
Okay.
And we can even manage it like from the thigh down or a nice slit in the dress. That's all fine.
Okay.
But anything that comes completely in at the sides, you unless you get them lined, this is what a lot of brides do now. They go back and they get them slightly lined with a little bit of a chiffon, like an ivory chiffon.
Yes.
And what it does is it still shows that beautiful detail, but it covers the underwear.
Yeah. And that's what you want. You don't want to see your knickers, your Spanx underneath your dress.
The other thing is you don't want to have to not be able to wear a pair.
I don't know many times I've had to sew a bride to her bra because the bra is riding up. Yeah. And I remember doing like a celebrity wedding a few years ago. I won't say who. I think you know who I'm talking about. And she had this amazing designer dress. It was fabulous. and she didn't have the right bra. And I was like, what is wrong with you?
She so beautiful. She probably thought, bras are bras.
What am I going to do? And I was like, no, it's grand, it's grand. We had to put a bra, and it was actually, one of those dresses that just went across the top. No sleeves, no straps. And we had to use a bra, and I had to cut the straps off the bra. Like, it's essential to get the right underwear.
Yes, it is. It is. It's shocking, really, isn't it?
I was actually there with my mouth open afterwards going, I can't actually believe she didn't have the right underwear for that dress.
Well, see, for a lot of brides, they have a lot going on. Yeah. And they often do forget those little things, but they're so important. It's very stressful on a day. Like, I've had so many times brides have rang me on the morning of the wedding because they couldn't work out how to put on something that we sold them.
Wow.
And they're all, they have me on loudspeaker and they're all shouting on the phone. You can just hear the panic in the room.
I've been there, yeah.
And you're trying to talk them off it. You're saying, listen now, just stop and just look at this. That is how you put it on. And then they get it. And it's so funny. I've had situations where they've rang the shop, and they drop the phone when they get it sorted, but they don't hang up.
Oh, no. You can hear what they're saying.
And our phone's engaged then.
Oh, no.
And we keep that's happened before.
Oh, no.
So these things are... I suppose it's how organised you are.
Yes.
How well you think ahead.
Yeah.
Not everyone's equipped with those kind of things. But do rely on the professionals. Our service is free.
Yes.
I can't say that enough.
It's free. You can go in and get your bra measured and you don't have to buy anything.
You walk in.
You will
get the information. Yeah, you can get the information. You don't have to buy. We always say, if you just want to know your size or you just want a bit of information what kind of bra could suit you, why wouldn't you avail of that?
Absolutely, Sinead.
So
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And you are in the city centre. Tell people exactly where you are.
We are on South King Street.
Yeah, so you're just behind St. Stephen's Green Shopping Centre, the back of it. Yeah.
You know the street that the Gaiety and Zara and H&M are. We're on the South William end, not the Grafton Street end.
Yes.
So right beside Luke Kelly.
Yes.
That statue that they all stand on.
And across the road from, what was that nightclub called? Is that
Break for the Border.
Break for the Border. Is that still open?
It's not.
Is it not?
It's now the Grafton Hotel.
Okay, right.
Yeah, it's a
I
beautiful
think people
hotel.
will remember it as Break for the Border, so you can kind of see that from your front door.
Exactly.
And Sinead, tell me then about the bridesmaids. Do they go into you?
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
Reluctantly sometimes.
Yeah, because they probably don't think, I need that.
With the bride, depends what the bride's like.
Yeah.
So literally we get all the different bridesmaids. Mostly the sporty bridesmaids come in the day before the wedding.
Stop.
And they come in going, I'm told I need a pair of Spanx or something. I don't know what they are. We showed them to them and they faint. But bridesmaids, come in. You see, women are so discerning now.
Yeah.
That we know more than we did 10 years ago.
Of course.
And a lot of the times they might already own a pair of Spanx from other, Spanx are such a useful product to have.
Yeah.
But bras are something you need to really get a fresh bra every 6 months to a year.
Oh, God.
I always say it depends on how many you have for how long they'll last.
I'm a disaster, Sinead. I need to get into you. I'm so bad.
If you have 5 bras, you won't need to buy a bra for maybe every 2 years.
Yeah.
But if you've only got 2 or 3, you're really wearing them a lot.
Yes.
So the more you have, the less you need to replace them.
Yeah.
Whereas I always say rotate your bras. So do get a few and, build up that bra wardrobe, we call it, and have a few that you can wear so you're not relying on one, because they do wear out much quicker that way.
Yes.
And obviously how you look after them is another thing. But sure, I don't even hand wash my bras. So
I
can't really be pointing the finger.
I would never hand wash a bra.
Well, anything with a wire you should hand wash, because any sort of bouncing around and heat, it doesn't like. Jenny, that's disgraceful.
Well, I've nothing to bounce around in, Sinead. So, let's be honest. And tell me then, Sinead, what's the busiest part of your business?
The busiest? Oh, that's a hard one to answer.
Is it brides?
Bra fitting.
Bra fitting. Yeah.
Bra fitting.
Yeah.
Brides are about, would you believe now, after 16 years, the bridal market takes up about 30% of our trade.
Okay.
The rest is bra fitting.
Amazing.
Really, bra fitting is really what we've become renowned for.
Yes.
Yeah. And funny, events would be 50%. So that 30% of bridal plus 20% of people going to communions, confirmations, their 40th, their 50th, their 60th. that's really a big part as well. Communions and confirmations are as big as weddings. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Communions, really.
Well, when you think about the amount of communions that happen across a year and the amount of confirmations, and there's a lot of mammies who want to look like hot.
Yeah, well, exactly. It really is a big day.
I know you're laughing hot. I want to look hot. But like even with Dean's wedding, my son got married this year and you were there.
And you look beautiful.
And I absolutely, even though my dress kind of went out from the waist, I still wanted to feel slimmer.
Yeah, I know, I agree.
Or not slimmer even, but just I wanted to look well. I wanted to feel that the dress kind of was seamless.
Yeah.
So I had the Spanx on, you know.
I feel more together with a pair of Spanx on.
Yeah.
I think I stand straighter. It sounds stupid, but and my bras, I'm very fussy about bras, of course, but I own an underwear store. You're talking about my husband earlier on, how lucky he is.
Yeah.
And I will only wear, I have 2 bras that I'll wear.
Right.
I have a plunge and I have a t-shirt bra because obviously whatever neckline I've on, I need one or the other.
Of course.
And I'm like 10 years in the same bras. And then I've only one pair of knickers
Not the
I'll wear.
exact same bras, Sinead.
The same style bra.
Yeah, okay.
The same. If they discontinue them, I'd faint. So literally, that's how fussy I am. So I always say to people, not everything in your size is for you.
Yes.
You will have a style bra suits your frame the best. We'll tell you you are a plunge bra person. But if you want to wear a high neckline, we'll get you a plunge that doesn't show up because that's what suits your body better.
Right.
Really, that's important to note because people kind of say, okay, I'm a 34C and they'll buy anything in a 34C. But really, the bra size is only one part. The bra shape is quite a different thing.
Okay.
What shape does that bra create in your frame?
Okay.
If you wear a lot of baggy clothes, you shouldn't really go for too molded.
Right.
Because they pop your boobs out and all of a sudden them jumpers make you look bigger because they hang from your breast.
Okay.
It's like a tent.
God, that's so interesting.
So if you wear a lot of oversized gear, you need to go for something that's really minimising, that keeps the breast quite close to your chest.
Right.
All of a sudden you look cleaner, smaller and neater.
I think the lads are going to be listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
And then tell me, Sinead, where do you get the stuff? I mean, like, I've been talking to Sinead and I'm off to London and I'm off to this place. Like, do you travel the world looking for new gear the whole time?
I'd love to. And it's only really after 17 or 16 years I've realised, geez, I could be going to Miami there now. Miami, Rio is one of the biggest shows in the world. New York's another one, but I don't. I do stay closer to home because it is a job and it's a very, very full on few days.
Right.
So mostly I go to Paris.
Okay.
I love Paris. Lyon is another place that we go to.
Right.
We go to the UK a lot, London and Birmingham, beautiful
Right.
Birmingham. So we would go there often. They're really handy because a lot of the brands I do service the UK and Ireland and they would find it worth their while to come to London or to come to Birmingham.
Okay.
So us Irish kind of always have to get on a plane. They do a little show in Ireland, but I prefer to go and see loads because I like to always find something new.
And would it be a show that just deals with underwear, Sinead, that you would be going to?
Yeah, underwear and nightwear.
Yeah.
So basically they call it like accessories and intimates, you know.
Yeah.
So it'd be slippers and robes to actual underwear.
And you were telling me that Derek goes around
My husband.
picking the bras.
He's an expert.
Is he really? He probably
so
would
funny.
be because he's living with you.
Basically, you go to these shows and you get over the whole women walking around naked.
Yeah.
Amazingly quickly.
They don't walk around naked now.
Well, they're in
Sinead.
their underwear basically,
Yeah.
but no clothes on.
Yeah.
So I thought my husband would just never be able. He wouldn't even be able to operate. But he climatised alarmingly quick, Jenny.
I wouldn't be bringing him.
So after like 3 hours,
Yeah.
when you're dealing with buying,
Yeah.
the poor models who are well used to it,
Yes.
we're not nearly looking at them. We're looking at how that bra fits her, the
Yes.
fabric, the way it sits, the brief, how it sits on the back. Does it cling? What kind of fabric is it? So the people that are selling it to us keep saying, so make sure to check that quippered lace and you see the way that's cut in. And I'm rubbing, your man's rubbing too. So I'm like, what are you doing?
When it's on her. Get the hell.
It's hilarious. And even with the PJs come out or the silks, you know, we're checking the weight of the silk.
Yes.
So the two of them are like checking and Derek's doing it. And Derek's like, no, the other one was heavier, Sinead. And I'm like, right. But it's so funny. He's getting bumped now because a big perk for the ladies that work with me, and for me too, because
Yes.
they are very knowledgeable, is we now go with the girls.
Yeah, of course.
And
that makes more sense because he's
poor
not in the
Derek.
shop.
Yeah, he doesn't get
He can't
the-
go on the trips. He's to mind the kids.
She doesn't get the nod as much.
Yeah.
And my mother has kind of elbowed her way in there as well.
Well, your mum has
Yes.
been working with you since you started.
Yeah, for 16 years.
And
yeah.
well, I know her as Mags because you call her Mags, but her
Yes.
name is
Bernadette.
Bernadette.
Yeah.
I'll have to stop calling her Mags because that's
She-
her name.
She's mind Max. And if she's very good, we call her Maggie. And we're happy with her.
Oh my God.
She's worked in the shop a long time. She's from Donegal. And yeah, she's just her own woman.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do or say to direct her. She
Right.
just does her own
She
thing.
does her own thing.
And-
but she's excellent.
She has, there's so many customers that won't even talk to me.
Really?
They want Mags.
They want Mags. Yeah, Bernadette.
Yeah. And then Olive and Jenny are the same. They have
Yeah.
their own customers.
Right.
Because I think when a woman comes in and has a wonderful experience, they want to, it's like the hairdressers. I'll only go to my hairdresser.
Yes.
You
yeah.
panic nearly if somebody else had to take you.
Absolutely.
So same in what we do. You get to know someone. There's a kind of continuity there. They know what you like.
Of course.
And it's so much nicer.
Yes.
So that's what happens in our store.
Sinead, have you any more tips? This has been so interesting. I think anybody listening to this now, will be glued and they'll be taking all their notes. Have you any other tips?
Really, I think more now than ever after COVID, we've all changed our habits.
Yes.
And there's a lot of women walking around there with a bra that definitely doesn't fit them.
Right.
Whether we realise it or not, we have all changed size. We've also, our sensitivity to what's comfortable has changed because we all went into the activewear a little bit there now with COVID.
Elasticated waist.
Sure, come here, I was in the running gear every day of the week. I never ran a minute, I even had a sports bra on 8 hours a day.
To make yourself feel like you're...
Don't know what I was thinking,
hello.
but I had intentions. But I find even me, when I go into a pair of high heels and a bra and this and that and the other, I just want to take it off.
Yeah.
So get fitted if you haven't been fitted in the last year.
Right.
Just get fitted.
Just get fitted.
And the other thing is, people think buying a new bra that they should be able to wear that bra for 12, 15 hours, right? And they shouldn't even know it's there.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Right.
A really good fitted bra that supports you. If you've a bigger bust, you would know you've the bra on after 6 hours. I myself would come in the door. What's the first thing I do is take off my bra.
Okay.
I'm very happy that it's given me that 10 hours of wonderful support.
Yes.
A good presentation. I'm happy with that. But really, I would find it hard to sit on the sofa and watch a movie
With your bra on?
with my bra on.
Oh my God, that's hilarious, Sinead.
And it's a really important thing because people come in and they're like, I found it very uncomfortable last night, but I was wearing it for 14 hours, but then I found it uncomfortable. That's normal.
Right.
It's supposed like putting on a pair of tight shoes.
Yeah.
You're going to take them off when you want to relax.
Of course.
So that is super to know that bras they are armoury and they're something that supports. And if you have a very full, heavy bust, think about the weight that is to carry.
yes.
Your bra is taking all that weight.
Of course.
And your shoulders, there will be always little red marks there once they're not sore. And there might even be a line around your body when you take it off. All those things are actually good signs, which
Right.
people will be shocked to hear. Because if that's the case, it's actually holding you up.
Okay.
If there was no marks on you whatsoever, I'd be thinking it's not air that's holding them up.
It's not working.
There's something funny going on there
Yeah.
that you don't have any indentation, we call it.
Yes.
So really get fitted and educate yourself on what actually is a good fitting bra, which we would tell you.
Yes.
Some places wouldn't.
Right.
But ask those questions. What's
Yeah.
a good fitting bra supposed to look like?
Okay.
Very important.
Sinead, I am blown away by all of that. You always blow me away when you start talking about boobs and bras and underwear. Thank you
My pleasure.
so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Jenny.